Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. Gilbert here. This is my 1980 Chevy K20 behind me. We left off last time with a little bit of work on the bumper. We're gonna pick up on that again today. Show you a couple things I've done since then off camera. Sorry it's been a little while since I've been out in the shop, but here we go. Hopefully we get a good video today. Get a lot of work done. So in the last video, I showed you guys how to make a template to make a piece for that angle there. And if you want to see how I did that, you can go check out the other video. So today we're going to be adding a couple extra mounting points to the bumper. As I mentioned in the previous video, I'll be enlarging these holes here for grade 8 1/2-inch bolts most likely, which ties it into the winch plate. But I felt that it definitely needs a little bit more security up top here. So I went ahead and cut these pieces. Again, this is all scrap material. I'm just showing this so you guys can see that you don't need to buy new metal to do this. If you think things out thoroughly, you can just use about any piece of scrap steel you can get your hands on, as long as you're smart about it anyways. So I've got this cut. And now this is a piece of C-channel, and now this is webbed. So the inside of this actually has a tapered profile to it. So what I'm gonna do is take a piece of flat stock and weld it underneath of here so that it drops down below. And we're gonna put a bit of an angle on it. I'll show you guys how I do that. And that's gonna get welded all along here, underneath. And then right in the center, we'll be drilling a hole and putting a bolt there. That should hold it up pretty good. So I've got this scrap piece of steel here. I believe I cut this out of the winch plate when I sectioned it and shortened it up a little bit. This is 1/4 inch. This is all cut by hand, freehand with a grinder, but should be plenty thick. We've got it about 1 3/8 inches or so wide in most places. And we'll measure that out. 4 inches should be plenty. And I'll show you how I bend that in the vise so that it'll fit inside of our web. So I got a couple little marks on there. We'll go ahead and take the speed square. We'll scratch those lines right across. We can go ahead and cut those on the grinder. Now, if you're wondering what I mean when I say web, this is what I'm talking about here. So this is a piece that I sectioned out of the C-channel, and you can see that this end is thicker and this end is thinner. It actually tapers down on the inside. So we're going to be bending our flat bar to accommodate this angle on the bottom. Got a cutaway here from an actual piece of C-channel, and you can see it a lot more clear there. So we've got the plates cut and ground down, cleaned it up, the weld surface, and put a little bit of a bevel on there. So now we're going to bring it over, mark it, and bend it in the vise. Already measured the inside of the web. I'm gonna need about 1 3/4 inches at the bend. So just to be safe, I think we'll bend it around 1.5 inches. Okay, let's bring it over to the vise. Got our flat bar mounted in the vise. I left the longer end of it sticking out just to give me more leverage. So I guess there's a couple ways you could do this. You could set it up with a couple spacers in here and use the pressure of the vise to squish it and bend it. You could beat the hell out of it with a hammer if you want. I'm just gonna use a really big adjustable wrench. This is all I'm gonna do. pull it back towards myself. And then we'll have a look and see how that fits. This is going to be my quick and easy way to test fit this. So we've got a profile section from our C channel. We've got the plate here. This is how it'll be sitting on the inside lip of the channel. As you can see there on the bottom of my bench top, it sits relatively flat. It's minor, negligible. I could live with that. So we're going to go ahead and tack that into place. Be one step closer to burning it in solid. So now that we've got the bolt plate tacked underneath, I'm gonna go ahead and mark a center on here, and we're gonna drill a hole through it. Then we'll be able to take the bumper off, weld this in completely. Still haven't decided whether or not I'm gonna make a piece to fill this. I think I probably should help closing the gaps a little bit. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If I get any comments, that'd be cool. But yeah, we're gonna get ready, mark this, drill it out. I'll show you that when it's done. So I went ahead and measured everything. I measured 1.5 inches in between here, because we've got, give or take, about a 1/4 inch thickness on this. So 3/4 inch from the edge to center. That should land us in between 1.5 inches. And again here we had roughly 1.5 inches, measured 3/4 inches down the center. And then I've got it punched out. So we're going to be using a 1/8 bit. I like to start with a 1/8 as a pilot hole. You don't have to go up all the way right at the start. It helps take a lot of friction off the bit. This will just help keep everything lined up. This top plate of the bumper will line up to the bottom one. And then everything should stay straight during assembly. Got my 2 pilot holes done. Now I can go ahead and take the bumper skin off. I think I'm gonna put a couple more tacks on everything just so I don't have any mishaps. I've had tacks break on me before when you're handling the bumper or whatever project it might be and break, and kind of gets frustrating when you've got everything just the way you want it. So I'm gonna throw a couple more tacks on there for cheap insurance. And maybe we'll work on some templates for this, I think. Let's make some and try some and see how we like them. Again, here we have a cardboard template. I just sat this on top of the blank area that I want to measure or make a copy of. Right there. So I already stuck the marker up in there on the underside. Bam! Got ourselves this little triangle shape. I'm gonna cut that out, and with any luck, it should fit and match on that side. Let's have a look. So our mirrored image from that side, flip it over, and it might be a bit tricky. There we go. Fits pretty good. Doesn't look the best because the cardboard's kind of curved. That should work. Transfer that to metal. Give ourselves a little bit extra on the back side here for adjustment. Maybe about 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 inch, something like that. Should look pretty good. Might go ahead and put a couple round dimpled eyes in there. We'll see. This is the only piece of the build that isn't coming from scrap, even though it looks like scrap, but it's an entire 1/8 sheet, 4x8 plate steel. So zip the grinder on that. We'll be back in a minute. Well, I did it all off camera. Cut it with the grinder. Had to go in and do a little fine tuning, grind some edges on it, round it off a bit. I'll show you how it fits here. Pretty happy with it. Just like that. Not too much of a gap that we can't deal with. I think we'll mark out and put a couple dimples in there on another day. Yeah, looks pretty good. I'm happy with the way it turned out. The other one's just as good. Alright guys, that's it for this video. If you like what you saw, stay tuned for part 3. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hit the notification bell if you want to see more content as I upload it. And we'll see you next time.